there, my name is Kelly, and this is going to be a very interesting video. I'm so excited. I'm going to be interviewing and having like a kind of normal chit chat with some young mothers like myself. These are all mums who are 25 and younger, and this is the first time I'm going to be meeting them and talking to them and trying to have a conversation on something that we're all, I'm assuming, very passionate about. And yeah, we'll be starting any minute now. And yeah, just bear in mind a lot of these women might be a wee bit nervous, might, so let's be kind in the comments below. Let's and I just want to put that disclaimer out. I'm gonna leave it completely up to them how much they want to share. So yeah, let's just get straight into it then. This is a longer intro than I'm used to, but I just wanted to make sure that people knew that. And even though I am quite a small channel, I'm very new, as everyone knows. I want everyone to have that same courtesy, and we just want to share something that we're very passionate about. And I'm hoping that any young mums who are pregnant or just new or whatever who might watch this goes, oh right, okay, that's really helpful to know, and stuff. So yeah, let's just go straight into the video. Enjoy. So yes, I'll just start with introducing myself. My name is Kelly Boyd. I am 21 years old. I've been breastfeeding my son, who is now, what age is he? He's 14 months since he was born. Very blessed that I was able to breastfeed. I've had no but one coption since he was born, so very lucky, very pleased. And yeah, I've only got the one boy, so I can go. Yeah, whoever wants to go next, feel free.
I'm 22. I have two kiddies, a 3-year-old, but I didn't breastfeed her, and I have he's nearly 9 months. Currently breastfeeding him, and yeah, it's going really well. No complications. All going pretty good, luckily.
Awesome, glad to hear that.
Obviously, my name's Georgia. I'm 22. I'm 23 in June. I've got a 5-year-old called Bella. I only managed to breastfeed her for 5 weeks before I got mastitis really, really badly. And I was only 17 when I had her, so I didn't really have the support around me to tell me what was right and what I was doing wrong. So I got really poorly with it, and I had to stop. And then I've got a little boy now who's currently downstairs, called Indiana. He is nearly 6 months old, and he is completely exclusively breastfed from day one.
So I'm Shannon. I'm 25. I have a little boy called Monty. He is nearly 6 months. He's been exclusively breastfed since day one as well.
Were you always going to breastfeed? Now, I was determined. I mean, like proper determined. As soon as I found out, I was pregnant. As soon as I saw those lines, I was like, I'm not putting formula in that baby. It's not happening. You know how everyone always says, breast is best and all that kind of stuff. We won't talk about the controversial with that. Yeah, I was determined. I had a co-worker who breastfed all 5, I believe. I think this was our 6th child, all 5 of our children. And she was saying about, her breastfeeding this child. And we were only a month apart, so we were in the same kind of spot. And yeah, I was determined. It wasn't.
I'll go first. Heidi only 18 having Heidi, and to be honest, I didn't have to look after myself. Never mind a baby, so I was just like, oh God, no, give me a ball. But with Harrison, yeah, I was always going to breastfeed. Get the experience of breastfeeding. So him, yes, for Heidi.
Yeah, so when I found out I was pregnant, I was a bit apprehensive about breastfeeding. I'm in an hour in between formula and breastfeeding. I never really had much information on breastfeeding at the time. I'd never really been around anyone that breastfed much. So I always just thought our formula maybe might be the right answer. However, going to my midwife appointment and hearing all the health benefits for breastfeeding, I was thinking, oh, I can't not really give it a go because it all seems too good to like not try out. Um, and then I was kind of a thing between my boyfriend. We never really spoke much about breastfeeding, but it was because I didn't know if when I gave birth that I'd be able to breastfeed. I didn't know if he'd latch, and I didn't know if at this time I thought you couldn't have a milk supply. So I was like kind of waiting until I'd had him. Then when I had him, he latched on straight away. And then that's it, bit really. Since then, I've just kept going and going. My first goal was like, I'll just breastfeed for a month, see how I go. And then it was 3 months, and then now it's nearly 6 months. So yeah.
Yeah, I was the exact same. I said, right, as long as I breastfeed to 6 months, and I didn't know anything about weaning, so I thought, they had to go straight into cow's milk. And then somebody says to me, why are you stopping breastfeeding when you're able to give it another animal's milk?
Yeah.
And that's when I went, do you know, that makes perfect sense. Why am I doing that? So I've continued all the way past a year now. So
Wow.
yeah, it's just weird the different information that you get.
I don't know really. I mean, I come from a family who have never even given breastfeeding a second thought really. I wasn't breastfed, and my sisters wasn't, my mum was. It wasn't that they were against it because they weren't. It was just not something that none of them wanted to do. And I met my partner, and his mum's got 7 children. He's the eldest of 7 children, and every single one of them is breastfed. So obviously he was like, when we have children, you're breastfeeding. And obviously I'm from a family who's not really bothered by it, and I was sort of in two minds about it. Obviously on my first I struggled really badly, but the support, when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, especially with my little boy, I thought I'm gonna do it this time. Formula just is not an option. I didn't even go out and buy any. I didn't have any bottles, I didn't have a sterilizer, I didn't have anything, because I thought if it's there I'm more inclined to use it. So yeah, and I wanted to with my first, but obviously I got so poorly, and I felt horrible giving up. It was like a failure. So with him, I'm like, I want to get 6 months, and then I want to get to a year, I want to get to 18 months, 2 years. I keep getting myself some little medals, the milestone medals. At the minute I've got a bronze one for 3 months, which is really nice. And I'd say my biggest support is my sister-in-law, because she's the one that told me everything, because she's younger than me actually, and she's been breastfeeding her little boy for just over 2 years now. And so if I've got any questions or worries or anything, I always go to her. I'm always texting her, I'm sending her pictures of my little boy's poo, and I'm like, is this normal? And she's like, yeah, that's perfect. And I bought her a little badge to celebrate 2 years, because her little boy was 2 years. So
Wow. Yeah. I did want to get the whole badge thing, but see, when you Google it and you go like, what's diamond nipples and all that kind of stuff, it tells you different things each one I look at. So I kind of just gave up on that. I was just like, I'll just get my breast milk ring at a year, but then I can't express, so I kind of, yeah, can't do that.
yeah, I want breast milk jewelry as well. They're really nice. The rings are really nice.
How much research would you say that you put into it? And I know quite a few of you already kind of touched on that when you were saying about were you always going to plan to breastfeed. So feel free to make this short and sweet. I went to all the antenatal classes. I joined this group and just asked them all the questions that I could possibly ask them.
Yeah. So I did no research until actually after I started breastfeeding. I just sort of thought, yeah, look, it's good for them, let's go for it, let's do it. And then when I was doing it, I realized, like, at this age, my daughter, like, she'd have so many colds, and I started Googling, and one of my good friends is a midwife, so I started asking her loads of stuff. And then the amount of stuff I actually learned, though, and especially from the group as well, so much. Like, my supply was near enough to nothing. I thought it was like feeding a bottle fed baby. So I was like, no, every 3 hours, like, have to keep go in, and my supply was he was always so hungry, so I just literally fed him. I let him close to feed, and then I just did loads of research, and now I have loads of friends that are pregnant, and they keep coming to me like, what about this? And it's actually really nice because you actually learn so much, and then you're able to like help someone else as well. So I think the research was good, but antenatal classes and anything, I never did any of them on both of mine, because my mother-in-law always said there's no point doing them because you're not going to remember to breathe. You're not going to remember anything they said to you when you're in labour. So I just didn't bother with them, but maybe next time I will. But yeah.
I guess I didn't go to any classes at all. I read up on the NHS website.
Fair enough, yeah.
That was it. Like I said, if I had ever had any problems, I went to my sister-in-law, but she's part of the breastfeeding group as well.
Oh,
She actually said, oh, you should join this group because it's really good, you'll find out all your information in there, and I did. And when he was first born and I struggled quite badly with quite a few problems, I was sort of having a look online. I had to ring one of the NHS the breastfeeding support lines, the 24-hour ones, one night, because I was in that much pain with it. And she was really good. It was like 11:30 at night and I was in tears, and she was like, it's okay, you can do it. So that was quite nice, knowing that there is that number there just in case I needed it. Luckily I only had to ring it once, but yeah, I mean, other than that, if I ever have problems, obviously medical, go to the doctors, but other than that, it's just a matter of asking on that page, really.
Is very the same mindset with it all. A lot of it is personal opinion, because I quite enjoy, reading people's experiences, hence this video. I think it's really interesting, very helpful for people. But yeah, no, that page, if I've not mentioned it yet, it's the Breastfeeding Yummy Mummies Facebook page.
So no, not really. The research I did was only really from what my midwife had said. That's all I kind of found out. I had no idea about cluster feeding. I had no idea about how your milk doesn't come after a few days. No idea that you could get mastitis. I had no idea about different feeding positions. So yeah, I kind of went into it a bit blinded, but only really what the midwife had told me in my midwife appointment. So that's all. And obviously I'm part of the Yummy Mummy breastfeeding group as well. So that's helped me out quite a lot. And it's nice to hear everyone's experiences. You don't really feel like you're alone, and as they've all got children, everyone's up at all times through the night, so you can always get hold of someone, which is really good.
Do you feel like you had lots of support? And I know this kind of links again into the other question. Of course, we've all spoke about the Facebook group, and you mentioned like the group. I also went to a breastfeeding group as well, local to me, and I felt that was really good. I met lots of mums there, and we all went to all the other kids' like first birthday parties. It was fantastic. So I really recommend anyone that's watching this who are struggling or thinking about breastfeeding, check to see if there's any breastfeeding cafes near you.
I live in quite a rural area. I don't have anything like that around my area typically.
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I'm one of them people. I'm a bit of a loner. I don't really have many friends, to be honest. I don't really have a lot of common friends. So.
Do you think you were treated differently because of your age when it comes to breastfeeding? And I know myself that when I'm out, I'll just breastfeed my kid whenever he wants it, whenever he needs it. Doesn't matter where I am, who I'm with, everyone knows I breastfeed. I've had family members who stopped coming over because they felt uncomfortable breastfeeding. I breastfeed in church, in the pub, in the park, while I'm walking about in the street, in a wee sling. I'll just flip a nipple out and feed them. So a few times I've been in a cafe and I'll be feeding them, and a woman's came up to me and she said to me, "Hey, please that you're breastfeeding?" And I'm like, all right, okay, I'm just feeding my child, but thank you. And she said, such a young mum as well. And I thought, right, okay, but you know, other young mums could be struggling with breastfeeding, a bit put off by it, but I was just kind of like, all right, okay, I mean, suppose, thanks. And I think that's the only thing that was actually being said to me. I mean,
No, I've had one experience. It was in the cab. I was actually waiting for my daughter to finish play school, and I was breastfeeding, and an older lady came over and was like, I'm trying to eat my food and you're really distracting me. And I was just sort of like he's hungry, but I was really put off by it. Normally I would, but I honestly just left. Like I was more upset than angry, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
And then like a lot of my family, my mum was a breastfeed only till about 6 weeks. So they're like, oh my God, how are you still going so far? And like the biting and like he's too big. I always get that. They're always like, he's too big, like he needs to stop, and can you not just give him a bottle? And I'm like, no. I think because a lot of people said that to me, like, can you not give him a bottle? It's made me go long. Otherwise, like he probably would have had a bottle by now. But because everyone was like, just give him a bottle, it'll be fine. Like, and I'm like, no. So, but other than that, it's all been positive. It's just that was mainly at the start. Now it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, playing on your just give them a bottle. I had a family member that said to me, when are you going to stop breastfeeding? And I've always said that I was just going to breastfeed until we self-weaned. And when he said that, and he'd already known that, you know, he was just trying to put some doubt in my mind, you know, like it's getting weird now or anything like that. But yeah, no, I completely understand where you're coming from there.
I think I've had a few people like shocked that I'm breastfeeding. Say if I've gone into the doctors or anything, they've kind of just assumed that I've bottle fed. It's not until I've said like, no, actually I'm breastfeeding, because I've had to have antibiotics a couple of times. I've had to actually say no, like I am breastfeeding, and they're like, oh, sorry, like we shouldn't assume. It's like, why are you assuming? Is it because of my age, or do I not look like I'm someone that breastfeeds? I'm not really sure. But that's really what I've had.
That's a shame, and especially when it comes from like a doctor or a nurse, you know, it's kind of like a slap in the face. But to hear that from a professional, it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know why they're shocked that I'm doing it. I'm not.
I haven't been treated any differently. I think where my family's not breastfeeding orientated family, they find it a little bit weird. Like you said with your family, it's, you know, I feel a little bit awkward in front of my mum, like feeding him. But I mean, if I go to my mother-in-law's, I don't care. I'm like, get him out, feed my child, you know. But yeah, no, I mean, going back to the feeding, when he was, I think he was just over a week old, I went to Primark. Delicious. Went to Primark to get some more clothes. You know, like, I think he was about 5 days old, 6 days old or something. And I remember I had him in one of them slings, the stretchy ones, because he's just one of these babies that he has to be with me every second, every day. He cannot be an inch away from me, otherwise he'll literally scream his head off until I pick him up. But I fed him the sling, and I remember walking around Primark, and people looking at me as if to say, you shouldn't not be a mum yet, but you look too young to be knowledgeable on breastfeeding and stuff like that. And the same when I've been to the hospital or the doctors or something, they're like, oh, how much is he on? And I'm like, I don't know. He's breastfed.
Oh yeah, because that's one of the main things that I kind of worried about at the start. Is he getting enough? You know, is he going to be, you know, is he eating properly? Yeah. Okay, so I've just.
You feel like you need to feed them all the time just to make sure that they are putting the weight on. You just don't know how much they get in.
Same boat.
It's tough at the start trying to sort of.
Yeah. Right. Last words for young mums out there. My last words are really follow your instincts. Because I feel like people, yes, okay, facts and figures are really important, and government is really important and all that kind of stuff. But your motherly instincts is extremely important. And I feel like if I just followed, you know, what it said on, you know, what midwives told me. I mean, I had a midwife that told me, why don't you take formula home with you? This was literally right after I'd gave birth to him. Why don't you take formula home with you just in case? And she put that doubt in my mind. And I think the next day I almost caved and gave him that formula, but I ended up putting it in a box and forgot about where that box was on purpose so that I didn't go and get it. I found it like, you know, what was it, 6 months later, and it was out of date, and I was a bit annoyed with myself because I was like, I could have gave that to a mum that needed it. But anyway, digress. Yeah, no, just follow your instincts. Remember, look up the 4th trimester. I feel like everyone has something to say about the 4th trimester, and cluster feeding is a pain, but only lasts for a short amount of time. And yeah, just do what you have to do, and take care of yourself.
I'd probably just say, yeah, follow your instinct as well and do what you want to do. Like, don't feel pressured by what anyone else says. Or if they say to you, oh, the baby's not getting enough milk. To be fair, I even thought it myself, but I think just go, as you say, go with your gut, and it will all just work out in the end. Like, it'll take a little while, but it all just works out. And I think the first few days are a challenge, and you do really worry because I don't think your milk comes in and the baby's crying and you're like, oh no, I'm not giving enough milk. But just go with your instincts and just keep going, and it will all work out in the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same as what Kelly and Shannon said. Definitely follow your instincts. Motherly instincts are very strong. And as Kelly said, cluster feeding, my God, it is a pain. But it literally, I find once you're past like maybe the first 4 to 6 weeks, I think are the hardest. And then when you're past them, it's just like, it's like second nature, like, and your boob is always out, but it's so okay and worth it. And yeah, just keep doing it. Just listen to yourself. Don't listen to other people. And especially what they said, I know like the health visitors and the nurses and all them, but honestly, your instinct is definitely strong. And you know yourself if your baby needs more, less, or whatever. So yeah, just keep going and you'll get there.
I mean, what I lived by, especially in the first 3 months, I say, is just take every day as it comes. I had really, really good days with him. He'd feed like a champ. He, you know, stinking the house out as he usually does. Feeding really well. You know, emptying food, stuff like that. But then the next day we could have such a bad day and I'd be in tears and I'd be crying and I'd be in pain. But I think to myself, now if I gave up then, I wouldn't be here where I am today. And you know, I still have my struggles with it. I wouldn't say that I've had a plain sailing journey at all, but when, you know, and not everyone does, but everyone has textbook breastfeeding journeys. It's totally different to that person. It's how they want to, you know, do it and how they learn and whatever the knowledge that they have. But I mean, compared to bottle feeding my daughter, compared to breastfeeding him, it's that moment when your baby's laying down and feeding and they look up and smile at you and you think, I'd go through this 1 million times worse just to get that. And I think it's such a shame because if you don't even attempt to breastfeed, you miss out on that and you don't realise it. And it's such a lovely thing. And I feel like I've got, like, don't get me wrong, I love my daughter to like the moon and back, whatever, and him, but I feel like I've got a stronger bond with him because he's breastfed and he's more dependent on me, whereas I couldn't with her. Not I don't love her any less because I do, but yeah. And it's not, you know, if you feel like you need help, it's not because you're failing either. It's if you need help, take it. They're there to help you. So yeah, and every breastfeeding journey is different.
That is true. That's true. Because I'm actually thinking of doing a video interviewing, kind of the same kind of format as this, a chit chat interview with a friend who exclusively expressed, and with someone who cannot express. The last time I done it, I got mastitis. The last 2 times, sorry, I done it, I got mastitis, and it was horrendous. So it's fair to say that I can't. And I'm going to do a video with her and chat away with her about that. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming on and chatting with me. It was great to see all the wee babies. It's been good. Who would like to go next?
I
It's
feel
just
bad
like,
about that
it was just like silence. I was like, is there a lag or is there something?
He is so cute. Oh no!
Oh goodness. I love how all the babies has made a guess experience. Like I come in and I kind of threw my child out with my husband and I says, look, this is work. I need to concentrate on that, but I kind of want to just go get him so I can show everyone. Hello. No, that's
Well,
cool. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so adorable. I love it. Right.